Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. Alok Verma removed as CBI Director, Selection Committee members. Prime Minister Modi and Justice Sikri find his continuation in the post detrimental to institutional integrity. Congress leader Kharge dissents, backs Verma. Big relief to small and medium enterprises. GST Council doubles exemption threshold to 40 lakh rupees. Raises turnover limit under composition scheme to 1.5 crore rupees from current 1 crore rupees. Decision to take effect from 1st of April. Two-day National Council meet of BJP in Delhi from tomorrow. Party President Amit Shah's address to kick off deliberations on preparations for upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Prime Minister Modi to deliver concluding address on Saturday. Winter session sees Lok Sabha complete 47% of its business, Rajya Sabha 27%. While disruptions caused the upper house 78 business hours, 14 bills were passed by the Lok Sabha, 4 by the Rajya Sabha. President Ramnath Kovind prorogues the session. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu congratulates Mary Kom for becoming world #1 in the 48 kilograms category in boxing. Unprecedented 6th world title triumph places her on the top of the charts with 1,700 points. CBI Director Alok Verma was on Thursday removed from the position. The decision came after a selection committee headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi met for the second time. Verma was removed on charges of corruption and dereliction of the duty. The meeting was also attended by Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge and Justice A.K. Sikri, who was nominated by Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi to represent him. However, Kharge has given a dissent note second time on CBI Director Alok Verma's ouster. Verma was reinstated as the CBI chief by the Supreme Court on Tuesday. The CBI chief and his deputy special director Rakesh Asthana were sent on the forced leave over 2 months ago. They had accused each other of corruption. Verma had challenged the move in the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, CBI Additional Director M. Nageshwar Rao will reportedly look into the duties of the Director CBI till the appointment of a new director or until further orders. The Union Cabinet on Thursday approved setting up 3 new AIIMS in the country. These institutions will be located at Vijayanagar in Samba in Jammu, Avantipur in Pulwama in Kashmir and Rajkot in Gujarat. The Cabinet has also approved MOU between India and France on technical bilateral cooperation in new and renewable energy. Other decisions included approval of MOU between India and Japan on the development of an advanced model single window, creation of the post of Vice Chancellor for National Rail and Transport Institute deemed to be university set up in Vadodara. It also approved a bilateral swap arrangement between India and Japan. The arrangement is seen as a milestone in mutual economic cooperation and special strategic and global partnership between India and Japan. The 32nd GST Council meeting, chaired by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, ended in the national capital on Thursday. In a significant move, the Council expanded the composition scheme for MSMEs and increased GST exemption limit to 40 lakhs. It also approved disaster cess proposed by Kerala.
Giving a boost to small businesses, the GST Council on Thursday doubled the exemption limit and raised the threshold for availing the composition scheme. The GST exemption limit was raised to 20 lakh rupees for northeastern states and 40 lakh rupees for the rest of the country. The scope of the GST compensation scheme, under which small traders and businesses pay a small tax rather than value addition, was raised to 1.5 crore rupees from 1 crore rupees. Quarterly tax payment and annual return for composition taxpayers has been approved, with GST composition scheme extended to service providers with a turnover up to 50 lakh rupees.
दो प्रकार की एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट्स होंगी। पहली वाली का स्लैब 40 लाख होगा, यानी कि जो 20 लाख था उसको डबल कर दिया गया है। तो जिसकी 40 लाख तक टर्नओवर है, अगर वो जीएसटी चेन का बेनिफिट नहीं क्लेम करना चाहता तो वो एग्जेम्प्टेड रहेगा। और जो इन छोटे राज्यों के लिए जो 10 लाख की लिमिट थी, उसको 20 लाख पे रखा गया है।
The council also allowed Kerala to levy 1% calamity cess on intra-state sales for up to 2 years.
The outer limit of the cess will be 1%. The outer limit of the period will be 2 years. And this is as a part of there's already a provision in the GST law that the council can permit some states to make a levy on such terms and conditions and for such period in order to cope up with natural disasters.
2 separate groups of ministers were also set up for the decision on GST on real estate and lottery tickets. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
2-day National Council meeting will begin from Friday in New Delhi to lay down the agenda for the general elections. BJP President Amit Shah will inaugurate the event and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is slated to deliver the concluding speech on Saturday. Panchanan Mishra brings us this report.
That slogan marks the BJP's campaigning for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. To finalize the party's strategy, the BJP's National Council meet will be organized in Delhi from 11 to 12 January. The Modi government's outreach to different sections of the society is likely to be a key theme for the 2-day meeting.
सर्वोच्च बॉडी इस नाते मानी जाती है कि कोई भी परिवर्तन अगर कानून का हो सकता है तो उसी में हो सकता है। इस नाते वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होता है और इस बार उसमें जिलाध्यक्ष भी हैं, जिला के महामंत्री भी हैं, प्रदेश कार्य समिति के सदस्यगण भी हैं, तो ये सभी के सभी जो है उसमें रहेंगे और लगभग 10,000 से ऊपर की संख्या रहने वाली है। 2 दिनों के मंथन के बाद जो कार्यक्रम घोषित होंगे उस कार्यक्रमों को सब लोग लेकर के जाएंगे।
Chief Ministers of BJP-ruled states, MPs, MLAs and district-level leaders will attend the mega event that will lay down the agenda for the general elections.
कार्यकर्ताओं को चुनावी दृष्टि से एक प्रकार से आह्वान होगा। देश में हम इतने राज्यों में 2014 के बाद सरकार बनाए हैं और आगे आने वाले चुनाव में हम पिछले बहुमत से ज़्यादा बहुमत लेकर फिर से मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार बनाएंगे, इस बात के संकल्प का आह्वान होगा।
BJP President Amit Shah will inaugurate the event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is slated to deliver the concluding speech on Saturday. The passage of the bill providing 10% reservation in jobs and education for economically weaker sections in the general category is expected to be discussed and will be used as part of election campaigns. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more developments. The core committee of the Congress, the organization entrusted to look after the party's preparation for the Lok Sabha elections, met in Delhi on Thursday. The meeting discussed a host of poll issues and stated that the party will unveil its poll strategy after 15th of February. Frontal heads of the party have been asked to come up with individual plans in state and national levels and to identify leaders who can campaign for the party's candidates in the parliamentary elections.
सारी फ्रंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी कई बैठकें हो चुकी हैं, काम चल रहा है और हम अगले महीने सेकेंड हाफ में कांग्रेस का कैंपेन को हम रोल आउट करेंगे। 15 फरवरी के बाद, तो आपको सब पता लग जाएगा, क्योंकि वो लंबा कैंपेन होगा, फरवरी से चलेगा और मई तक, जब तक अंतिम चरण में मतदान नहीं होगा.
And some more developments. Today was the third and the last day of the Raisina dialogue, where speakers focused on India's role as a positive force in the world. Union Minister V.K. Singh said that India wants to adopt the tactics of dialogue and persuasion in changing world to get its rightful place. Akhilesh Suman brings us this report.
Minister of State for External Affairs V.K. Singh on Thursday spoke about India's future strategy in world politics. He said India doesn't adopt any hardline stand. This strategy, he said, has helped India engage with China despite the confrontational environment.
We have made a lot of friends. You gain from each friend. Any country which goes on a path which it charts for itself looks for advantages from all friends. Any country which is able to harness technology properly, any country which is able to get technology that is able to make things better for itself, make the lives of its own people better, to ensure that the economic progress takes place, will always move in the front ranks.
MOS External Affairs V.K. Singh said, even in a world where India and US have good relations, India holds each country important. He said, India is trying to attract many countries with a proactive role and liberalized domestic market.
I think the ingredients are there today in terms of the achievements that India has been able to achieve. A country which is predicted to have an economic growth rate of more than 7% in the next, continuously in the next 5 years. Obviously, it will have a certain amount of economic strength where it will be able to influence and make more friends.
The three-day Raisina dialogue is a major foreign policy initiative for India. It is providing a platform for think tanks and governments to interact formally. All major countries of the world have sent their delegates to the Raisina dialogue that was inaugurated by Norway's Prime Minister Erna Solberg. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended the inauguration. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is also slated to address the event.
India's position in Raisina dialogue was very clear. India wants to be friendly with every country. India wants to engage and associate with all positive forces, poles, groups in the world. And everyone is thinking India's position is positive. It's a new experiment in diplomacy, not being associated completely with one pole and engaging with different poles together. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Anirban, Delhi.
And to get more details on this, we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, today was the third and last day of the fourth edition of the Raisina Dialogue. What were the big takeaways from the dialogue and what was India's impetus on?
Yeah, you know that this type of event gives you an impetus to raise your voice on the world stage. You remember Shangri-La Dialogue. When Shangri-La Dialogue was organized, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had got his voice and he expressed his Indo-Pacific strategy and everyone appreciates this. So, but now India is organizing this type of dialogue for last 4 years, and this fourth edition is really remarkable because of the fact that India has clearly, outlined its strategy that it is not going to associate with one country or one group. It is associating with all the countries and all the groups that will be in India's interest. And last time we have seen that India in one city only is engaging with RIC, Russia, India, China group, and again going to talk to JAI, Japan, America and India grouping. So I think India has made it very clear that our foreign policy is independent. It is different from our non-aligned policy that we had been practicing for last many years, and now it is all engaged, aligned with all positive forces in the world. So I think nobody should understand that if India is going and talking to one country, it means that India is going in his side. And VK Singh, General VK Singh, the Minister of State for External Affairs, told it very clearly that we have good cooperation with USA, but that does not mean that we are in the US grouping. So I think this is the major takeaway that India has formulated, and it has outlined its future strategy, future diplomatic stand on the world stage. And everyone, 92 countries participated. Speakers from 92 countries participated in this, Raisina dialogue, and 1,800 participants were there. So the Indian voice and Indian strategy will go around very loudly that what India is thinking about its foreign policy.
92 countries have participated in the Raisina dialogue. Akhilesh, how will this help in boosting India's position for international market and enhancing its stand in the world politics?
Once you organize such type of events and you call 1,800 participants and speakers from 92 countries, I think you also outline your economic position. And you know that world today is not just based on military power, also economic power is becoming a major, determinant in the world stage. And that is why India, External Affairs Sushma Swaraj had outlined, India's position, that how India is transforming, making economic reforms, how FDI is being encouraged, how market reforms are being done, and how our bureaucracy is also taking turn. Bureaucracy is also becoming user-friendly and business-friendly. And she has told that districts are coming forward, competing amongst themselves to give positive results for a transparent market, transparent enterprising status. And this gives you an impetus in the international market that yes, we can go and invest in India. India is making something, and we can buy made in India products. So I think this type of dialogue gives you, and I think Raisina dialogue gives us a really good entry in the international market. Smriti?
Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for joining us and giving us all those details on the Raisina dialogue. Remember, today was the third and last day of the fourth edition of the Raisina dialogue. Remember, the inaugural session of this three-day event was addressed by the Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg. So a wide range of discussions held between the participating countries. Remember, 92 countries have participated in this dialogue, and 1,800 members have been a part of this dialogue. Moving on, in just concluded winter session of the Parliament, the productivity of the Lok Sabha was about 47%, while that of the Rajya Sabha was 27%. According to the data collated by the think tank PRS Legislative Research, productivity of Parliament was the third lowest in the 16th Lok Sabha. 17 bills, 12 in Lok Sabha and 5 in Rajya Sabha were introduced. 14 bills were passed by the Lok Sabha and 4 by the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, which provided 17 sittings spread over 29 days, was adjourned sine die on Tuesday, while Rajya Sabha, which provided 18 sittings over a period of 30 days, was adjourned sine die on Wednesday. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Narendra Singh Tomar described the passage of the Quota Bill a special achievement. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal said the government is committed to the passage of the Triple Talaq Bill and the Citizenship Amendment Bill.
लोक सभा में कार्य की जो उत्पादकता है वो 47% है, राज्य सभा में 27% है। सरकार हर विषय पर चर्चा करने को तैयार थी, लेकिन जो परिस्थिति रही उसके कारण जैसी चर्चा और जितनी चर्चा हो सकती थी वह भी नहीं हो सकी।
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat on Thursday addressed the annual press conference in the national capital. He spoke on various topics from terrorism in Kashmir to the modernization of Army. The chief also said that Make in India program will play a vital role in the defense expansion of the Army.
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat says the government and the army are consistently making efforts to establish peace in Jammu and Kashmir, but terrorists are still managing to instill fear among the local populace. General Rawat also underscored the need to improve the situation in the valley while stating that talks and terrorism cannot go together. He said both hard and soft power are being adopted to ensure that people do not suffer.
We are saying talks and terrorism cannot go together. This is not just applicable to our western neighbor, it is also applicable to the people inside. That you cannot keep killing security forces, abducting policemen, killing policemen and say we are ready for talks. So talks also have to come with some kind of conditions, and it's a bilateral issue. So here the talks are between you and us. So talks can happen between you and us if you come without preconditions. But the number of conditions that are laid down for these talks somehow make it difficult.
This was the third annual press conference of General Rawat as the army chief. On talks with Taliban in Afghanistan, he underlined that India cannot turn away from Afghanistan owing to its interests in the country. He also said Make in India will play a vital role in the defense expansion of the army.
We have had hiccups, लेकिन इसमें कुछ हद तक हरकत हुई है मेक इन इंडिया में. आप देखिए बड़ी बड़ी गन्स अब हिंदुस्तान में बन रही हैं. आप देखेंगे अभी इनफैक्ट एक गन जो अभी हमने अक्वायर करी है, एक तो खैर हमने ULH अमेरिका से ली है, लेकिन दूसरी गन आई है, धनुष आ गई है आर्टिलरी की, दूसरी गन्स भी आ रही हैं. मेक इन इंडिया मिसाइल्स की तरफ चल रहा है. हमारी मिसाइल टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छी है, तो मेक इन इंडिया मिसाइल्स में ठीक चल रहा है, ये इस तरह से मूव कर रहा है. बाकी जगह जो हमारे को मेक इन इंडिया करना है, हमारे को बेसिकली जो है वो टेक्नोलॉजी देखनी है कि टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे हम इम्बाइब करें और किस तरह से इसको प्रोग्रेस करेंगे.
The army chief also answered various questions. He clarified that curbing social media is not possible, but it should be used under the prescribed guidelines. The army chief also said, despite the legal validity of the Supreme Court on gay relations, it cannot be allowed in the army. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Supreme Court has rescheduled the hearing of Ayodhya dispute on January 29th. The Chief Justice also decided to set up a fresh bench after Justice U.U. Lalit rescued himself from the hearing. Justice Lalit was member of the 5-judge constitution bench formed by the Supreme Court earlier this week to hear the Ayodhya title dispute. As soon as the bench assembled today, senior advocate Rajiv Dhawan told the bench that Justice Lalit appeared for former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh in 1994. While Dhawan did not sought Justice Lalit's recusal, the judge himself opted out the hearing the matter. The bench is slated to hear the appeals challenging the 2010 Allahabad High Court verdict delivered in 4 civil suits. It had sought that 2.77-acre land be partitioned equally among 3 parties, the Sunni Waqf Board, the Nirmohi Akhada and Ram Lalla.
ललित साहब ने कहा कि शायद उनका इस बेंच में कंटिन्यू रहना मुनासिब नहीं है. जाहिर है हम लोग कुछ कह नहीं सकते. तो चीफ जस्टिस ने कहा कि ये राय है हमारे बुजुर्ग कुली की और ख़ुद ललित साहब की. ही डज नॉट वांट टू कंटिन्यू. दूसरा बात उनको बताया गया कि ये हम लोगों की तरफ था चीफ जस्टिस बना सकते हैं, लेकिन जुडिशल ऑर्डर में चूँकि चीफ जस्टिस की बात आई है तो प्रॉपर होगा कि चीफ जस्टिस साहब इसका नोट ले लें. तो उनका ठीक है नोटिस उन्होंने ऑर्डर लिखवाया और ऑर्डर में लिखवाया पूरी ये बात कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रूल्स में चीफ जस्टिस को ये पावर है कि वो किसी मैटर को 2 जजेस को 3 जजेस को 5 जजेस को जैसा चाहे वो बनाए, देखते हुए कि क्या उसका रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो इस लिहाज से वो उन्होंने बनाया और फिर उन्होंने डेट लगा दी. रजिस्ट्री को डायरेक्शन दिया है कि जो इसमें कमियां हैं ट्रांसलेशन में या और किसी चीज़ में वो सब रिपोर्ट देकर उसको ठीक करें खुद.
The bill to provide 10% reservation to general category poor in jobs and education was challenged in the Supreme Court on Thursday. A petition filed by NGO Youth for Equality challenged the quota bill on grounds that it breached the 50% ceiling on reservation. The petition sought a stay and quashing of the Constitution 124th Amendment Bill 2019 as it was violative of the basic structure of the Constitution and that the economic criterion cannot be the sole basis for reservation. It also contended that 27% OBC reservation must also be brought under the economic criterion test and not according to the caste consideration. The quota bill was passed in Parliament on 9th January and awaits the President's approval. The National Commission for Women on Thursday issued a notice to Congress President Rahul Gandhi for his alleged remarks against Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman at a rally in Jaipur. The NCW noted that the comments are misogynistic, offensive and unethical. Notice was issued over Congress chief's statement that Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked a woman to defend him on Rafale deal debate in the Parliament. Meanwhile, the Congress party has termed the NCW notice to Congress chief politically motivated. And successful boxer MC Mary Com's record 6th world title triumph has propelled her to #1 position in the International Boxing Association's latest world rankings. In the updated ranking put out by AIBA, Mary Com is placed top of the charts in the weight division with 1,700 points. Mary Com became the most successful boxer in the World Championships history when she claimed the 48 kilograms category top honours in November last year. Among other Indians, Pinky Changra is placed 8th in the 51 kilograms category list. Asian silver medalist Manisha Maun also holds the 8th position in the 54 kilograms category. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has congratulated Mary Com for attaining the top position in AIBA rankings. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. For more news and updates, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television. Namaskar.